Thank you.
I welcome you, my dear friends, to our Voice of Kingdom weekly devotion. Today we shall be taking our text from the book of Exodus chapter 36, from verses 5 to 6. Let's read them together. The craftsmen said to Moses, "The people are bringing more than enough for doing the work the Lord commanded to be done." Then Moses gave an order, and they sent this word throughout the camp: "No man or woman is to make anything else as an offering for the sanctuary." And so the people were restrained from bringing more. Let's look at the background of our text. We saw in our verses 21 to 22 of the previous chapter that we looked at last week that God had commanded Moses to receive special offering from the people for the building of the tent of meeting. We also saw that the people's hearts were moved by the Lord to give, and they gave willingly and freely. But in this chapter, we can now see from our core verses, that is verses 5 and 6, that the people didn't only give willingly, but also gave generously. They had to be restrained from giving more because the craftsmen and builders had more than enough materials and resources for the project. So why did they give so much in excess? Let's look at the lessons from our text. Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 18, it says, "But remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you the ability to produce wealth, and so confirms His covenant, which He swore to your forefathers, as it is today." Having the right perspective, my dear friends, and understanding of what the Lord has done for you motivates you to remember to be graciously grateful. In Luke 17, verses 12 to 19, the Bible tells us of 10 lepers that were healed, but only one returned to Jesus to give thanks and praise to God. He was commended by the Lord. So let's all look back and see the greatness of God's work in our lives, the work of salvation, of redemption, the work of protection, and just keeping us from harm and danger, and the work of blessing us and prospering us, and other things that He has done. When we count these blessings, it will surprise you what the Lord has done. So generous gratitude becomes imperative. And not only being imperative, it's also doable. Let's look at the application. What can we apply from our lessons today? The Bible commands us in Matthew 5:48 to be like our Father in heaven. So when we look at God's creation, it's obvious that our God is really very generous to us. The above text indicates that the Lord expects us to emulate Him in the way we live. So giving to His work on earth is one way of emulating God. Let's be generously grateful to God in our giving. And as we do, you can be sure that the Lord Himself will turn around and bless you. He has promised to open the windows of heaven and pour forth such a great blessing upon you that there will not be enough room to receive it. And as you do that, you will see the result of what our Heavenly Father will do for you. Thank you for listening, my dear friends, and God bless you.